Hello everybody, welcome to this reading for our full moon in Aquarius, taking place on August 18th of 2016. So this full moon is apparently a partial lunar eclipse. It's kind of like a baby one. It's just a sliver of the moon that will be in the eclipse shadow. So I'm not sure of all the details on that, but the energy is obviously ramped up. The full moon is always a time of a culmination of something. And our symbol for this is Aquarius 26, which is a garage man testing a car's battery with a hydrometer. I believe that's the way you say that. So what I had to look up what a hydrometer was. I had a feeling it is a piece of equipment that's used to test an amount of liquid and gravity's involved. And immediately I thought about the symbol for Aquarius, which looks like two waves, one on top of each other. And I was getting that this reading with this full moon, has to do about some kind of rewiring with your brain, because that's the car's battery I was getting, that the brain kind of just works on its own. And oftentimes just like a car battery, we don't know what's going on under the hood, but we know that we can start the car up. And every morning we can get up and we can go about our day. And so that battery is the brain. It's just from the moment we're born, it's just working. It's just doing its thing. And sometimes that's very unconscious to us. And that's the part that's the energy that I feel like we're shifting over this year, is to become more conscious of the choices that we're making and how we're choosing our thoughts and how we're choosing our emotions. And this full moon is really coming to a certain culmination. Something has come to a culmination of how what your brain is getting for a reading from your hydrometer, which I'm getting is kind of the emotional self. It's your soul self. That soul self always has a bead on what's going on with the brain space, all the levels, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. The soul knows what's going on all of those levels of your energy field. And so this particular one has to do with those two waves as I described, one being the mental space, and the hydrometer is specifically looking at the mix of the emotional. The hydrometer measures water, liquid, which is our emotional self. And so our bodies are made up of a huge amount of water. So there's quite a bit of power there. And the full moon, this is why people get a little off maybe at the time of a full moon, because just like with the ocean tides, we're so full of water that things get kicked up, even in the brain space, especially in the brain space, with all of that water kind of rising up, just like a huge tide that comes with the full moon. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here with this reading, is the mix of those, and they're like two energies that are, working together, but there's a message here from that hydrometer. Okay, if you chose card number 1, so the set from the photo I put up that was on the left side. By the way, all of these cards are from the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. This tells me we're going deep. This is not a surface kind of a card deck. Eternal Embrace is your card. Let you take that artwork in for a second. And I'm going to do the Wisdom card from Louise Hay right away. Okay, I forgive all past experiences. And on the back it says, I do not have to know how to forgive. All I have to do is be willing to forgive. The universe will take care of the how. This is how your thoughts are shifting, and you're being encouraged to continue shifting. Your hydrometer is sending off a signal that forgiveness is such a huge word. In order to bring you a sense of the internal embrace is kind of a sense of peace. This is your soul self in the back hugging the you, which is the figure in the front. Okay? So it's a sense of forgiveness. That's the emotional self. That's the full moon shining down on this day, August 18th. That energy is shining down, and the emotional component really wanting to come up is a sense of forgiveness in the brain space. Okay, so that top wave is forgiveness that wants to sit on top of the brain, that might be kicking up feelings of, feeling somebody did you wrong, or feeling like you have been put out to pasture, or feeling like you're not worthy somehow, and that you're directing that at somebody else has perhaps made you have these feelings. And the brain can, as I said, this feels like a car battery. The brain feels to me that the energy is very unconscious in the brain, which is a lot of our day. We have unconscious stuff going on. So your team's bringing it up that in order to help that brain activity and even out so the waves are not like this and maybe you're on an emotional roller coaster, to help out, to even the waves a little bit and use this full moon energy to your advantage, really focusing on that word forgiveness. Okay, and really it's interesting. I don't look at these cards before I talk about them. We got two couples giving embraces here. And mostly, this is you, just giving you a hug. Okay, whether it's that inner child part of you or the full-out adult part of you, it's giving you your own hug and saying, it's all right because I give you forgiveness anytime you ask for it, and I don't need to ask for forgiveness from anybody else. It becomes very personal. And so that you take care, you kind of self-sustain that emotional body, that emotional layer of your energy field by doing this. So forgiveness is the big concept for you. That's what the hydrometer is picking up on with this full moon energy. Okay, the second card is, acceptance. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous card. I just love it. All right, and the wisdom card is, I love being me. Let's see if I can get it up right here. I love being me. And it says on the back, I no longer judge or criticize myself. I am free to love who I am. And what I get with this, when I first saw this card as I was holding it up, what I was seeing or sensing is a woman who's covered in tattoos. I feel like the hydrometer is picking up on the fact that you feel that you've been sort of pointed out as being ultra unique, and perhaps you feel this is where the brain gets out of whack sometimes, is you pick up on perceptions, your perceptions of others, or perhaps they've directly said things to you which has way more to do about them than it does about you. That you are this super unique person, and as in some societies, in some circles, somebody covered in tattoos, even on the face, might be looked at as being so odd or so different that I can't possibly relate. Some people may feel that way. And there's something, I get a sense there's something about you that you've been kind of called out, and it also can be your own thoughts about yourself, that, well, I'm unique and I'm so different and I'm standing over here, and by the way, I'm by myself and there's nobody that I can relate to. And with the word for you, the hydrometer is picking up on acceptance. That what will help those brain waves with this full moon energy, what will help the brain waves to kind of smooth out a little bit, is to put on top of it the emotional response of acceptance, of really owning all of you full out. I love being me. I put a post up about this recently, about really noticing the unique aspects of all the individuals that we communicate with on a daily basis or over the course of a day. And each one brings something to our experience. And of course, that's no different when you look at yourself. It's wrapping your arms around even those kind of ugly, nasty parts of ourselves that we don't really want to wrap our arms around and don't want to forgive. We see them as foreign parts of ourselves, as like, who is this and why is she like that, and what is possessing her mind to want to do that, where we might be rejecting even ourselves. So to help you out, the hydrometer is kicking off for you. Bring a sense of acceptance. And these readings they're very personal. It can definitely be your own sense of, I'm a unique being that is worthy and deserving of love and acceptance on all levels. Even those kind of nasty parts of me that I haven't quite worked out or that I don't like looking at. And if somebody has actually voiced something like this to you, that they feel like you're the odd man out or that you're over in this unique category, there is a level of that. There's a layer of it that you can take as an enormous compliment if you should choose to. This is where the brain can take it and say, oh my gosh, that's so bad. I am strongly promoting at this time that we look at our uniqueness as a real gift to each of us, and to use our unique abilities, our unique blueprint, our fingerprint, which is like nobody else's ever, either in the past or going forward. You are one of a kind, this fingerprint. Just like this woman. We will never find, if there's multiple people who have tattoos all over their body, I am quite sure that it would never be the same, because each body is so individual. So bring a level of acceptance with this full moon. Acceptance of self. Our last card is Mother Mary. Oh, how beautiful. This must be why I'm wearing blue today. I am feeling the Mother Mary energy today. Mother Mary, the card you get is this very fun fellow who's dancing about saying, I am healthy and filled with energy. I feel the bounce in my step. I see my shining eyes. The radiant me is right here. I claim it now. Your word that the hydrometer's bringing up is grace. There is no other word for you than grace. Simply know that you are fit and healthy and joy-filled and grace-filled right now, right this moment, and especially as that full moon is out on the 18th. Claim that as your state of being, in combination with that full moon energy coming in. That sense of grace. Mother Mary is not worried about a darn thing. She is the most loving, and what I want to say is steady presence. She has just a graceful but totally reliable, got your back kind of energy. And we were talking about the two squiggles, one on top of each other. That's the sign of Aquarius. Mother Mary can almost make that like a docile, beautiful lake at sunrise when the wind has not yet kicked up. And she does that by claiming right now, I am filled with grace. I am fit and healthy and strong and vibrant. This is how thought truly can transform your experience. And the full moon brings that kind of energy. That if you claim that for yourself, that if you say, this is what my hydrometer's picking up on and I'm claiming it. Ask Mother Mary in. Get her right by your side like part of your posse and say, I accept, I bring in this sense of grace to sit on top of that car battery, the mind, going, unconsciously, making up all these things that create energy that goes like this. And for you, a sense of grace, stability, calmness, serenity, but also strength. This card, the wisdom card, is all about strength and vibrance. And Mother Mary is one who absolutely shines. But she shines in grace. And I look at this figure, this man dancing, and it's just like, it's grace-filled. It's like you can watch somebody who's even dancing to fast music, and they can look so full of grace simply because they're just vibrant. And there's a confidence, but it's a quiet confidence. You know what I'm saying? So grace, that is what's going to sit on top of those brain waves and get them to just, I mean, Mother Mary, she's a miracle worker. So it is completely within your power to bring that in. And please ask her to come in. I am getting, for you that chose that card, please ask for her. You don't have to be affiliated with any religion to access an ascended master like Mother Mary. That is universal energy. And if, you can call it the divine feminine energy, you could call it anything, but it's feminine. It's strong yet graceful energy, which can really even out if you've had really a lot of peaks and valleys and a lot of feeling perhaps not that healthy on the inside or the outside. This feels like it's a healthy, vibrant message. A lot of color and a lot of light, but a sense of grace to go with it. There we go. There's your messages for this full moon. Many good ones. We have, getting back to this card here, forgiveness for the first card. Forgiveness. We have then acceptance of self, especially. And then we have this vibrance in grace. Take care and enjoy this full moon. It's going to be a good one. Bye-bye.